I am Nisha Sindhi and I am taking 4th standard English subject. Today's topic is lesson number 3, The Clever Little Ants. This story is divided into two parts. In your previous class, we have seen the first part of the lesson, The Clever Little Ants. The ant and the grasshopper. The story about the ant and the grasshopper. The ant is very active and the grasshopper is very lazy. So we have seen the story about the ant and the grasshopper. Let's start the second part of the story, The Clever Little Ants. Ants are small insects that live in communities called a colony. Usually ants are found in regions where the climate is warm, but they can live almost anywhere except in very cold places. Here we have already learned that the ants are very clever. Ants are small insects. Yes, have you already seen the ants? Ants are very small insects that live in communities called a colony. Usually ants are found in regions where the climate is warm, but they can live almost anywhere. Almost where the ants found, the ants are usually found in region where the climate is warm, means the climate is hot. Hot weather, warm, but they can live almost anywhere. The ants can live anywhere, means almost the ants are found in the warm climate, in a hot climate, but ants can live anywhere except in very cold places. Where the very cold places is there, the ants cannot live there. So ants are usually found in the warm weather. Like most insects, ants have 6 legs. Like the most insects, many of the insects have a 6 legs. So the ants also have the 6 legs. The legs of the ants are very strong, so they can run very quickly. So the legs of the ants are very strong. They can run very fast. Ants can lift things 20 times their own body weight. So the ants can lift the things, means the ants can take the things 20 times their own body weight. The life of an average ant is about 45 to 60 days. How many days can ant live? The life is about 45 to 60 days. The ant can live only 45 to 60 days. Ants use their antenna not only for touch but also for their sense of smell. Ants use their antennae not only for touch but also for their smell. The head of the ant has two large strong jaws. In the head of the ant they have very strong jaws. You have already seen. The head of the ant have two large strong jaws. The jaws open and shut sideways like a pair of scissors with which they swallow the juices squeezed from pieces. So what the jaws will do, the jaws open and shut sideways like a pair of scissors with which they swallow the juice squeezed from the pieces of food. The ant has two stomachs. The ant has two stomachs. One stomach holds the food for itself and the second stomach stores the food to be shared with others. So ant have two stomachs. One stomach holds the food. One stomach what will do? One stomach holds the food. What they have collected, that food will hold the one stomach itself, and second stomach stores food to be shared with others, and second stomach stores the food that can be shared with others when they need the food. The queen ant starts a new colony. She flies to be a safe place, discards her wings, which she will use no more, and lays eggs. The queen ant. The queen ant, what she do? The queen ant starts a new colony. She flies to be a safe place, discards her wings, which she will use no more, and lay eggs. The only job of the ant queen is in a colony is to lay eggs. What is the job of the queen ant? The queen ant in a colony is to lay eggs. Only the job of the queen ant is to lay the eggs. The active worker ants look after the eggs. What is the job of the queen ant? Only the job of the queen ant is to lay eggs. And what the active workers do? The active workers look after the eggs. Means they look after, they protect the eggs. The workers move about the eggs constantly to ensure correct temperature. What will the workers do? The workers move about the eggs constantly. Means they are watching constantly to ensure the temperature of the eggs. Sometimes carrying them to the top of the nest for some sunlight. Worker ants are divided into groups. So what the worker ants do, sometimes for carrying them to the top of the sunlight, they divide into groups. Each group does one type of work which they follow throughout their lives. Each group does one type of work. They will not change their work. What the duties are divided, they do for lifetime. They will not change their duties. Some look for food, other look after the young. So some group look for the food and others look after the young. Some others protect the nest, and some are given the job of taking the rubbish from the nest and putting into rubbish dump. One group what will do? Some look for food, other look after the young. Some others protect the nest, and some are given the job of some ants protect the nest, and some are given the job of taking the rubbish from the nest and putting into a rubbish drum. Some are given the job of taking the rubbish from the nest. There are different species of ants. The slave maker ants steal the pupae from the other ant nest and rears them up to become slaves. So here there are different species of ants. There are different species of ants. The slave maker ant steal the pupae from. Here pupae means insects still developing in hard shell. Insects still developing in hard shell from the other and nest and rears. Here rears means to look after the young one until it is fully grown. Rears means to look after the young ones till it is fully grown. The army ant of South America can have as many as 7 lakh members in its colony. The army ant, here head army ant of South America can have as many as 7 lakh members. How many members are there in the army ant of South America? 7 lakh members in its colony. These ants together can even bite a huge snake. So the ant of the South America, the army of the South America, and army ants of South America can have as many as 7 lakh members. So they have the 7 lakh members. So the army ant in the South America has a 7 lakh members. So they can together even bite a huge snake. The leaf cutter ants are farmers. Here those who cut the leaf cutter ants are the farmers. They cut out pieces of leaf to take back to their nest. They cut out the pieces of leaf. They cut out the pieces of leaf to take back to their nest. But ants cannot digest leaves. Why they cut out the pieces of leaves? Because the ants cannot digest the leaves. What they do instead is let fungus form on them, which the ants then eat as a food. What they do, the fungus has formed in the leaves, so what they do, they eat that as a food. Some even rear another insect called aphids for milk. Ants work throughout the summer to collect food so that they don't have to work in winter or the rainy season. Aren't they clever? What the ant will do, they work hard very in summer season. So too they collect the food, so they don't have to work in the winter or the rainy season, because usually the ants live in the warm weather. So ants have to work in the summer season. They don't work in the winter or the rainy season. They already collected the food for the winter or the rainy season, and they will rest in the work. They will rest in the winter and the rainy season. So aren't they clever? Yes, ants are very clever. So students, hope you understood the lesson, the clever little ants. Now it's time to take the homework. Write all the keywords from the lesson The Clever Little Ants, page number 20, 21 and 22, and also read the lesson carefully and send on WhatsApp. Thank you.